Hello, today on the next chapter we will be reviewing The Catcher in the Rye by J.D. Salinger, written post World War I, World War II-ish. This is an amazing novel and it hasn't been turned into a movie, but I think turning it into a movie might ruin it. It's a point. Even though it doesn't have a strong plot already. But the weakness in plot makes the character Holden Caulfield almost even more genius. It's because it is coming from him. He is wandering. That's why the plot is weak. He is being a wanderer. And this is... So let's go back and do a summary of the plot. Holden is struggling in school. He gets cut before Christmas. But he doesn't want to exactly tell his parents that, so he goes home to New York City, but he stays at hotels. He's wandering. And he really just doesn't know what he wants to do with his life. And this is why the plot is weak, because it changes very transitionally. It doesn't have a core to hold it around. It's out there. There's just very little core to hold it around. So, with Holden wandering around, it shows he is desiring something. Now, I'm going to compare him to Katniss. And one thing that drove me nuts about her towards the third book, towards the second and third book, the fact that she was aimlessly wandering. You could argue that she is shell-struck, but I say she is choosing moments to be shell-struck, as she does have this conscious feeling of knowing what to do and when to do it, and it's not always that she's having the memories. Most people who are shell-struck are very often have memories that are constantly coming, but she is only choosing to be, when she is faced with an obstacle, she can forget everything. However, Holden needs support, and that's why he's wandering. He's been put from boarding school to boarding school, and even evidently in the book, it does mention that there are no boarding schools where his sister goes. And he's getting no support, and he keeps getting the axe, but he's going to a boarding school where he can't come home and say, Mom, Dad, I need your help. Help me with these concepts. He also really doesn't know what he wants to do with his life. He's an amazingly talented kid, but he still needs to figure out what he wants to do. And this is what makes the scene at the end, spoiler alerts, so powerful. When Phoebe puts his red hunting cap on Holden, it's showing that Phoebe, by doing that simple act, is showing Holden that there is still some support for him, that there are still people who are there for him. And as the book goes on, in the end, it does mention he kind of did go, indirectly you can infer, he kind of did go mentally insane. But just by doing that one thing, by putting the red hunting cap on, she showed to him that there were still people who loved him. So, I really suggest going out, picking up a copy of this book and reading it, cover to cover, because you won't regret it. And I'll see you next Friday.